much for tuning in. This is Lori from Cruising for Treasure, and you're watching the What Sold Show. And I show you everything that I am shipping out today that sold since the last time I packaged and shipped items out. So I sell items on 4 different platforms on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Facebook. And today I have items from 2 different platforms represented, but I also did sell yesterday. I had a porch pickup for some vintage Bose speakers that I put up on Facebook for $50, and they came and got them. So I did have that sale over the weekend, so that was really nice. And I had picked those up from an online auction. So what I wanted to do today is, in addition to showing you the items that I have going out the door, I just wanted to really encourage you, anyone, if you're looking to be a reseller, if you're looking to you want to add more income to your family, you have a big bill coming up, you have a trip you want to go on, you have something like that, and you want to somehow supplement your income, create another revenue stream. eBay, selling online on any platform, is not as scary as you might think. There are some learning curves. There are some things you have to figure out as you go. But in general, it's as easy as finding an item, taking pictures, putting it up online, and then letting it fly. And so I'm going to just share a couple tips with you as I'm showing what I sold this weekend. But the number one thing, and I had mentioned this in another one of my videos, but in our haul this past week, or our pickup and coffee show, the easiest way to get started selling on eBay is to source, to shop for, to look for things that you know. If you have a particular hobby that you have a decent amount of knowledge, let's say it's music, let's say it's photography, let's say it's cooking or reading or travel, sports, a specific sport, baseball, soccer, football, golf, whatever. Start looking for things that you know from that specific hobby are high value, that are difficult to find, that are special edition, that are a specific colorway that is difficult to locate. Start looking for those items when you're in the thrift store, when you're looking for at a yard sale, at an estate sale. Focus on finding items from that specific category, that niche. And when you find it, look it up on eBay. Make sure that you sort it by solds, which you do that with the filter. Sort it by solds. Look and see what that item has sold for, and then compare that to the price that they're asking for the item. Because just because you know for sure that it's worth a lot of money, you don't want to pay too much, especially when you're starting out, because you don't want to lay out all that cash at the beginning and then sit and wait for weeks and weeks for an item to return the money to you. So make sure that it's you're getting it in at a low enough cost, and then get it. So that's my first tip, is to start sourcing in areas that you are very familiar with, and then move from there. So what I'm going to look for is some things here in my what sold list that would illustrate that. And one of them is, okay, now I didn't obviously prepare for this very well. Here we go. One of them is, I have 4 kids, okay? And I have 3 teenagers and 1 7-year-old. And so they have watched a lot of movie and TV shows over the years. So one of them is my son, when he was little, 3-4 years old, was when the first Cars movie was huge. So I know that any die-cast cars from the Cars movies can be worth a decent amount of money. So when I see them hanging in the bags at Goodwill on the wall, those infamous bags, I almost always will just grab them, because I'm going to get my money back. I'm going to make money. This is one of those. This is from the Cars 2 movie, and this is Prince William. Get it? Because they're in England, I guess. Anyway, this sold for $20 on eBay. So you figure I paid maybe $1 for it if you factor in the cost of all the items in the bag. I paid $4 typically for a bag. So I paid $1 into $20. And that took, I believe, less than a month to sell. Let me look that up for sure. But I'm pretty sure it took less than a month to sell. Correct. I listed it on January 1st. Wow. I worked on New Year's Day this year. Go me. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else? Okay. So I'm a girl, right? So I am very familiar with clothing. Now I did have to learn different brands and familiarize myself with trends and all of that. But the fact remains, I know some things that appeal to different people, okay? So I love to shop to source shoes, accessories, and clothing. That actually is predominantly what I source for my store. So here's another item that sold. Stuart Weitzmann T-strap. These are just so elegant, right? No wear. If they were worn, they were not worn outside. Stuart Weitzmann size 7, so gorgeous. It's like a suede finish to the shoe. These sold for $60. And I'm actually not sure what I paid for them. There's no thrift store mark on the bottom. So let's see what, and they were made in Spain. So that's pretty great. Okay, I paid $5 and I listed them mid-October and I got them from an online auction. So $5 into $60. That is great. I love it. Okay, so to continue the shoes, clothing, and accessories trend, I have some jewelry that I sold. The first one is this hammered metal silver tone. Actually, it's more gold tone in this light. Oopsies, I put silver. Oh well. This is Chico's brand, which can be a good brand to source. It just depends. This sold for $8.75. I did pick this up in a lot from an auction, so my cost was probably about $1. And they did send me an offer, which is usually what happens when it's that type of price, $8.75. And I almost always do go ahead and accept those offers because I'll tell you why. When it's so specific, that means that they have budgeted in exactly how much they're able to spend on an item. That's how much money is in their account, how much they have available to them, so they will pay immediately. And that is the case a huge percentage of the time. Okay, so another jewelry item that sold is these really cute vintage, I'm gonna guess these are from the 80s. The brand is Monet. They're gold tone with a turquoise stone in them, and they are clip-on earrings, and these sold for $20. And again, they came from a lot, so I probably paid $1 or so for those. Okay, so let's see. Let me show you also, I sold a lot of clothing this weekend. So here we go. Let's see. Let me find this one. Okay. This is Blank London Anthropologie. I don't pick up a lot of Anthropologie. It really has to be a really nice piece. But the fact that this was a size extra large and it's just such a cool top. Isn't that great? The colors are so bright, which is what we're looking for right now, right? In January where it's just bleh, dreary. That sold for $22. And I got this at, excuse me, 75% off the color of the week sale at Goodwill, so I paid $1.87 or something like that. So that's pretty great. Now, this next one is actually really funny because my son took pictures of this, which my children photographed 97% at least of my inventory. Which brings me to another thing. another tip, do not stress about making everything perfect. If you look online and you see, or you watch YouTube or you're on Instagram or whatever, and you see folks with their amazing lighting setups and, you know, and their pictures just look phenomenal, like they're from a magazine, you don't have to do that. For years, what I did is I had found a large piece of white felt that I found at a Goodwill or somewhere. I would put that on the floor, and I would just take pictures on top of that in my family room and hope for a sunny day. And so sometimes my pictures were beautiful, nice, bright light, and then other times it was a little cloudy, so they weren't as great. So, but my stuff still sold. So I'm not saying be messy. I'm not saying show your toes in the picture. I'm not saying use your dirty kitchen cabinet, countertop, whatever. I'm not saying any of that. You do need a nice clear background. You need no clutter anywhere in the picture. You need nice focused photograph. You need to be able to see what the item is, but you don't have to stress about going out and buying a lighting kit, getting a perfect camera. Use your phone. Use your phone for your pictures. It works great, especially to get started in reselling. So, but the case in point is this bag. So it's my 18-year-old son photographing, and purses just aren't his thing. And so the pictures on this bag, I almost made him retake the pictures, but then, I mean, it's this bag. How do you take a good picture of this bag? Like the handle, it's just meant to be slouchy, and I really can't actually even figure out how it all works, because like this snaps together right here. So it's supposed to be like this. Not even, I don't know. It's just weird. How do you make that look cute? I have no idea. But the brand is Furla, which, is it out? Oh, you can barely kind of see it in there. I don't know if you can read that or not. It's a black leather purse. Anyway, I picked it up. I got it in an online auction lot, and I paid about $1 for it, okay? And so it sold for $45. So obviously pictures, they are important, but they are not the end all be all of your listing. So don't stress about your pictures. So next is this item, which, let me see, where is the listing? Okay, this is a bolo, sweaters from Norway. Now, Dale of Norway is the best, but any sweater that's made, honestly, in any of the Scandinavian countries can be really great. I've sold ones from Denmark and such. But this is made by Charles Wolf of Norway, and is 100% new wool. So this is another tip. Your item does not have to be in perfect condition. You do want to disclose the information, but if you look at this one, you can tell that the knitting is like, I don't know. There's some rubbing there in the armpits, and it's not in perfect condition. There's a few light stains on it, but it's a vintage sweater, highly sought after, and it sold for $35. So, sorry, I have a string that's distracting me. $35, and it actually sold fairly quickly. And now that I'm thinking about, I think I got this at Goodwill. Let me look that up on my, well, I paid $8, so maybe if that's at Savers. Oh, I got this at an estate sale, and actually it sold in just a couple days, so that's pretty good. Okay, another thing that I am very much aware of is Lego sets, because my kids are all obsessed with Lego sets. So my antenna always go up whenever I see them, whether I see them in an online auction or I see them in a thrift store or wherever. I picked these up from I believe they were in a lot in an auction, And so I did not actually pay very much for them. I guess nobody else wanted them. But this one sold for $7. Not a ton of money, obviously, but if you can pick it up for 50 cents an item, why not? And that is the third one that has sold of that from that lot. So I'm now done with those little baggy sets. So it works, you know, and I made myself some money. Okay, another accessory. This one is so great. Now, if you listen to other resellers, they will tell you that the green Ralph Lauren label is bad. Don't pick it up. Okay, you have to use your own judgment, because honestly, this is a great item, okay? And it's new with tags, it's vintage. This sold for $49.99, which is my full asking price, which is actually even more than it was originally priced at in the store. The tag says $40. So this is just a great item. I love it so much. As soon as I saw it at the thrift store, I knew I had to bring it home and sell it. And this was actually at a thrift store that they normally price their stuff way high. But this one was priced at $5. So that also goes to show you, when you go to a thrift store, don't always judge a thrift store by its cover. You can almost always find something that they miss. Almost always. Okay, and then let's see, keeping with the theme, another hat. This came from an online auction. This is TY Teeny Beanie Babies snapback hat from McDonald's. So these were passed out to crew members at McDonald's back when these were included in the Happy Meals, I'm assuming. So this is from either the late 90s or the early 2000s. I'm gonna guess late 90s. This sold for $9.99. I paid maybe 10 cents for that hat. So, and I have multiple quantities, and that is the second one that has sold. So that's pretty cool. Okay, let's see. Here we have a Matchbox Originals car. This is from 1993, new on the card, and that sold for $9.99. So that's pretty cool. I think that's the last one I have. I had picked up several of those, and I think that's the last one to sell. All right, this one, the buyer just messaged me and said, my address is wrong, make sure you change it. So hopefully I remember to do that when I ship this out. This is a cast iron door knocker, and it's got the Scottish thistle on it, which is kind of cool. And that sold for $18. It's unbranded. So, but when I saw it, I kind of just had this feeling that maybe somebody might want this on their door. So I got it, and I was right. Somebody wants it on their door. Okay, so let's see. What else that's a Poshmark sale. Let's see. What else is in here? Here we go. This sold for $23. I picked this up from an online auction, and I paid too much for it, to be honest. It's a long story, but it was the first item to go to, it's a long story. I paid $10 for it, but I sold it for $23, so I'm fine with it. I'm still making some money, and it was actually a fairly quick sale, so I'm pretty happy about that, to be honest. So that's a primitive coffee grinder, if you didn't know. And I did not want to clean it up, so I just put that it was as is primitive farm decor. This was not a Poshmark sale. I lied. I left an item downstairs. I get so annoyed with myself when I do that. Okay, this is Hang 10. It's a rash guard swim shirt type thing. I don't know. It's a very strange feeling fabric. It sold for $10. This is not a bolo, okay? I had it forever. Somebody sent me a $10 offer, and I said, sold. Out the door. Blessings upon you. Okay, this is kind of cool. America's Great Indian Leaders and Great Indian Nations. It's a new in package VHS set, and that sold for $17.50, which is pretty awesome. I am not actually sure where I got that from, because I've had that for a little while. Oopsies, I misspelled it. Okay. Yeah, it's been listed in my store for 2.5 years. Yikes. Let's see, it says I paid $4 for that at Goodwill. I can't imagine at Goodwill. VHS $4 at Goodwill? I don't know. I mean, I still made money, $17.50, so that's fine. Okay, and then let me show you my Poshmark sales. Now, if shipping seems to be a scary thing for you, you don't know how to figure it out, you don't know what to charge, calculated shipping versus flat rate shipping versus free shipping, then Poshmark is a really great platform to start out on, because Poshmark handles charging the shipping, and every label that they print that they create for your sales is valid up to 5 pounds. And almost all of your clothing and shoes, they're only going to weigh 5 pounds. Now it gets into a bigger situation if you have bundles that equal more than 5 pounds. That has never happened to me. In fact, no one bundles my closet. I don't know why. I don't know why. I try not to let it give me a complex. But I rarely make sales in bundles, just being honest. But anyway, so honestly, with Poshmark, you don't have to worry at all about shipping charges. You just print out the label, package your item up safely, and slap the label on the box. Easy peasy. And if you don't have any packing materials, all you have to do is go onto USPS.com, find their free shipping supplies area, and then order to your heart's content whatever supplies you think you might need. They have the boxes, they have the priority mail tape, they have the padded flat rate envelopes, they have the Tyvek envelopes. I mean, you can get all of it and have it shipped to your door, and then just use those to ship out on Poshmark, because their contract with the USPS includes all flat rate and again, anything up to 5 pounds. So you can use their packaging and it's free. So that would be what I would suggest if you are nervous about shipping. But then once you kind of get your feet wet and you get other things under your belt, you start to feel a little bit more comfortable, then you can move on to eBay, where you do have to figure out the shipping a little bit more. It's a little bit more complicated. But get started on Poshmark, get some cash flow going, and you'll be just fine. And actually, Facebook Marketplace, shipping on Facebook Marketplace is very easy. All you have to kind of do is basically weigh your item, and then they have a range of weight, and then you can choose where your item falls. Is it 0 to half a pound? Is it half a pound to 1 pound? Is it 1 to 2 pounds, 2 to 5 pounds? And then you choose what shipping service you want to use, whether it's first class or, well, not first class anymore, Ground Advantage, but, or if you want to use UPS or priority mail. So Facebook actually is fairly painless as well. And then they have the label and you just print it out and whatever. So anyway, that's just a few tips that I have gotten, that I have to pass on to you. It can be a really great way to get additional income for your family. I absolutely love what I do. It's a lot of work doing it at the time I'm doing it at, but that's also because I did not put in place a lot of really good systems initially. So we're kind of working backwards, retroactively putting in systems. So I don't recommend that. But once we get it to where we want it to be, it will be so much better. But anyway, I love the thrill of the hunt. I love, the only thing I don't love is the photographing, and that's why I outsource it to my kids. And I don't love the listing part of it, but it is fun when you complete that listing and you know that your item is live and in the eyes of millions of people, and somebody's gonna buy it and give you money. And then the circle is complete. Okay, these are my 2 sales from Poshmark. FUBU jeans, I have no idea about these at all. I just saw them and was like, oh, maybe these will sell. Looked them up. Sure enough, they sold for $30. I don't know, is this considered streetwear? I have no idea. Anyway, those sold for $30 on Poshmark. And then I apparently left it downstairs, but it's a vintage Eddie Bauer pleated skirt, red plaid. I think it might have been a wool blend. Anyway, that sold for $20. So Eddie Bauer, don't sleep on Eddie Bauer, because there are some pieces that can actually do pretty well. So just kind of employ your spidey sense, which resellers use that a lot, because sometimes you just know. Just look at an item and you know someone somewhere, well, hopefully a lot of wares are looking for that specific item and are willing to pay a decent amount of money for it. That was the case with this skirt, and it was just so cute, and I know that somebody is gonna get it and rock it. Anyway, that's what I have going out today. It's always busy around here. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. 4 kids, all the time busy. So we are gonna get the rest of our listings up today, get these items packaged and out the door. And
she was talking too long and it turned off.
Thanks, dear, for those words of affirmation. Anyway, I've already had some sales today, so make sure you tune in tomorrow to see what sold today. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Bye.